Yes, sir, Ken, it is an alarm. Let everybody know it's crazy. It is indeed. So, Ken, how are you doing? Can you hear me all right? Hello, hello. Can everybody hear me? I think everything's working now. I had some malfunctions already today. It's the jinx. Oh, boop, boop, knock it off. Okay, good. Good to know. How is Maureen? How are you doing out in the Philippines? How's the weather out there? Houston, Texas, the Bayou City. We talked about that. The Bayou City is Houston versus New Orleans, which I thought it was because, you know, being down in the bayous. I think I remember that, right? See if my memory's getting any better. So the Crescent City. That's right. I always thinking of the Battle of the Bayou in football. I think is what they call it. Like Florida's Battle of the Swamp. Oops, she already did. She did. She said hello. She's on top of it. She's on top of it, man. We have to trust. So yeah. Which I don't know why New Orleans is called the Crescent City, but someday I'll look that up because when I get bored. But I don't really know why that is. Let me say hi to some people who are here. over watching the video while we're hanging out on the live stream. So Ken, how are you doing up north? And I know it's nice and warm down in Houston. The Bayou Bucket. It's like kind of like I think of a Bayou Bucket. I guess I think of food like maybe a seafood boil type thing. But somebody plays in the Battle of the Bayou. I don't know if it's LSU and I don't know, somebody. Yeah, I talked to I got a family member down in Dallas. He said it was beautiful in Dallas today, but his wife was going north to Kansas City, and she was already having to bring a jacket with her to Kansas City because it was getting kind of chilly up there for her trip. It's starting to get a little nippy here at nights in the 50s, but during the days it's beautiful. I personally am really, really, really hoping not to turn the heater on. Oh my gosh, into the last week of October. It's kind of my target. I try not to turn the heater on until almost Halloween here in Arkansas. So that's my goal. I don't know though. Yeah, we appreciate everybody joining us. There's a good number of people watching the video. And then, of course, a good number of you guys already here on the live streams, and we greatly appreciate that. Upper 80s in Houston. I got a sister that lives in Houston, the west side of the far west side of Houston. So the 60s is nice, a little cooler there. I like the 80s and the 60s, I was telling my brother today, man, if I could live somewhere where, it never got above about 88, 89 degrees and never got below 60. And we talked about San Diego, California being that way. But then, of course, we all know nobody can afford to live in San Diego, California. So I guess for us poor folks, that's San Diego, California is just not going to do it. So, yeah, Viking in Norway is over watching the video. We appreciate him. He's from Norway, if you guys don't know. He'll be joining us shortly. Yeah, he's over there probably making fun of me. He's actually in Caddy, Texas. I'm thinking of Caddy. Because we've been down to that region quite a bit. We made multiple trips down so that my wife could get her dual citizenship, American Philippine citizenship back, or her Philippine citizenship back. So we spent quite a bit of time down there, and we actually went over to, oh my gosh, some resort town over on the bay of Houston. It's on the east side of Houston, has kind of a boardwalk. I want to say, I know it's not Keller. Keller is Katy. Keller's by Dallas, Fort Worth. But man, I can't think of that. But it's over on the east side. It's a really nice area. Yeah, that's it. You got it. Yeah, Lorelai and I went and spent a few days over there when we came down to work on her citizenship stuff. And, it wasn't anything super. But, it was nice. It was during the pandemic, so we stayed at some kind of marina resort. And we got that like a $300 a night room for $80. So we spent a few extra days down there for that. And just hung out. but or right before I can't, but it was really cheap for some reason. Maybe it was the thing. And then we met up with my sister and went and hung out at the boardwalk and had our picture done wherever that is, right there by some starving artist who needed some money. So I feel bad for her, and I knew she wasn't very good at it, but you know, they need the money, so I was happy to do that. And we ate at Bubble Gump's Shrimp or Bubble Gump's, whatever you want to call it, which we've eaten at those before. So San Antonio is a cool town. You know, the River Walk in San Antonio is pretty good. Uh, I like San Antonio. I've been there for some conferences and things. So, I like San Antonio. And San Marcos was really cool too. I really like San Marcos. San Marcos had the Riverwalk. The San Marcos had the bats. I went down there for a conference about a year ago. Myrna, how are you? Good to see you, and thank you very kindly for being here. Apparently, Mr. Yank will be joining us. He's already warned me that I need a flat jacket for tonight's topic. Since, here he is. Let's see what he has to say. And I've dropped the link. If anybody wants to come up in the panel, I'd love to have you. All right. Let's add Mr. Yank to the panel and see how he is doing today.
You're in for trouble now, man. Like I said in the comment, you better get a flak jacket or a private security team.
Well, did I say anything that was untrue?
No, but you know what the problem with everything is generalizing, I mean, the majority of ones are like that here. Yeah. That's like saying a guy that doesn't pay child support, they're all deadbeat dads, because I was accused of that when I was paying. That pissed me off. But for the most part, you always have to start out with that disclaimer,
The hell of disclaimers.
Oh, come on.
I started off with a disclaimer saying I did my research, and this information was coming from many, many years of people telling me their thoughts. So it's not my personal belief. Mm-hmm. Let's say hi to Joe, and Myrna says hello to Tony.
Hello, Myrna.
So, and Ken Unger's here, Marine's here.
Oh, you have to
stay down in the Bayou City, which is Houston, not Louisiana, in the house. So, hey, I was asked that question a lot in the Philippines. And were kind of the general answers, after my knowledge, that I would share.
You got women here and they become Americanized. You just defeated the purpose of marrying somebody that wasn't from here.
Well, I understand that. And, but I don't think any of it was horrible, what I said.
Well, you always have to start out saying not the entire group. That's like the other day, 65% of people incarcerated are black. Well, out of the 65%, how many are justly there?
2%. I don't know, but you're right.
Well, but I'm just saying you can't lump it.
That's why I have you. I have you to hear that side of it.
Yeah.
And Ken, I have you guys to smack me around and say,
you shouldn't have to say, we should be experienced enough to realize that the truth is being spoken, but you can't include every single female in the Western Hemisphere.
I didn't say I included every one of them. I just said I didn't include them. But it's just a good topic. And the question tonight for anybody who's brave enough, because I thought I was very brave, is what do you think?
You're bordered with the big S side of that too. I would agree with that as a whole, but always have to make it clear that it's not entirely everyone. In that,
But look, at least I'm brave enough to say what I think and what people have told me, and
well,
I don't hide behind things. If you
I,
don't like it, that's great. If you like it, that's great. And that's always been my motto.
mm,
We have all been up and down many roads and have a lot of life experiences.
oh yeah, I got plenty.
It is what it is. But I want to know everybody's own opinion about if they're brave enough. What do you think? And if you think there's nothing wrong with them, that's great too. So it's okay
Yeah,
to defend also.
yeah, yeah. People have. It's just opinions. It isn't. He's not. You're not on here trying to tell everybody what they should do. You know what I mean?
Now, I don't really care what anybody thinks or what
Well, I
anyone.
know that, but I'm just saying, people that tune in and right away they get their feathers ruffled over something.
And that's okay if you get your feathers ruffled. I mean, that's a good thing about living in America. We can get our feathers ruffled.
Yeah,
I mean, I look around and I'm so disappointed in so many things worldwide that,
oh, sure.
maybe they ruffle my feathers, so, uh, but, it's all right. Let's see what Ken has to say. Ken's going to be brave and make a statement.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Ken's a good guy. I was married to an American girl. We had a daughter, still friends years later. She's a good woman. However, I would say that a good majority of American women have a bad attitude. Mr. Yank, what do you think about that?
I just said that. I said it earlier.
You agree? Yeah.
I did too. You couldn't. Most of us couldn't have the women we have now if we had them here. They wouldn't even give us the time of day over here.
Mm-hmm. And Ken, I agree with you. Having a bad attitude isn't just an American thing, but it is an interesting list.
I became aware that it wasn't an American thing when I was on my second trip there and flying from San Francisco to Hawaii, and this British guy sitting there by himself, and I said, "What, you come alone?" He goes, "Now his wife's over there." He points, and then he throws his hand like, like forget her. I said, "Oh," I said, "I thought that was an American problem. I guess not." He kind of chuckled, but he never spoke so his wife could hear him.
Well, Verna says hello to Miss Maureen. Ken says she's doing good in the Philippines. So,
Verna, you looked a little stressed the other day, a couple of days ago.
But, and here, let me poke the bear a little bit. God loves all women, but man only loves the good ones. Woo! Poke that bear.
Uh-huh. I bet bear poking you, man. Yeah.
And that's part of it, to be honest, is a lot of American women, have this independent attitude, which I think is a very kind way of saying it.
I think that I always tell the female friends that I have more female friends than male, but no one should ever depend on the other. The reason why things get real bad and sour is lots of people don't set themselves up before they jump in, and then they're there with the guy's the biggest breadwinner, and they stay there miserably, for the rest of the marriage or until something gets better. But
I absolutely agree that part of the problem is people stay in relationships long after they should give it up. You know what I mean?
yeah, I had a lady on my bus once, and she was telling me about her long-term legal whatever husband, and I said, well, why do you hang around? She goes, oh, I guess we're just comfortable with each other, being shitty once in a while. But what I say is, if you don't get married, when you get married, that piece of paper changes their attitude, changes everything. So if you're together with somebody, you're not married, you're not going to be so inclined to piss them off that they walk.
So
Because
Kenny,
if you verbally abuse or mistreat, either person will be gone.
and that's what it should be. Nobody should stay in a bad relationship. But here's the problem, Ken and Joe. I'm going to have to tell you this. Now, they're talking about Providence girls or country girls are better than city girls. Now, Joe, keep this in mind, my friend. Lorelai's from the city, and she knows where you live. Huh. Keep that in mind, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, them city women, whoop,
Yeah.
created all of this. We got away from the older family values. And that's what I talk
Yeah.
about in my video is family values in America has kind of gone to the wayside. And women seem to be really, really happy with it.
The things that change is when moms didn't have to go to work. And then you had the mom there and you had the family. I like it. The next best thing for me, I find that in the Philippines. So, that's what we used to be here. Grandma, you every Sunday you went to church and the aunts and uncles and all that would get together for a card game. Everybody had their place,
Well, and I do think it's, it is American society over the years. And I'm going to give this as an example. We, the American society of media, press, TV, business, whatever, in the effort of making more money has convinced American women of all of this garbage. And I'm going to give the example to parallel this. It's like how we look at houses in America now. When you buy your first house, the young people in America, the people that are younger than us, some of us guys, what they immediately are taught, this is your starter home. So you buy a starter home and then you keep trading up for better and better and better and better. Instead of like the past generations would buy a home to live in for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So we've gotten away with that. And American women have been sold and told for many, many years, you deserve more, which maybe they do. And you have the right to all of this. So go and do all this stuff. You don't have to listen to your husband or raise your kids. It doesn't matter what you want. Do whatever you want. Business.
If they say demeaning things and all that, but no decent, self-respecting guy's gonna bark out orders all the time.
No, I agree with you.
But I liked it. When I first met my wife here, or over there actually, I liked the fact when I wasn't really even looking, but my friend, one of my childhood schoolmates, was looking, and so I started looking, browsing, and what I wanted more than anything, because I don't give a shit about a 20-year-old. I mean, after about 6 months, you're down to living, and you got another child there, So I wanted a family type woman. My wife's like 18 years younger than me, but I wanted somebody that was just a bit more worldly.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I wouldn't settle for anything different.
Look, I tell the story sometimes, not very often, but when I was about 35, I dated a 21-year-old beautiful young lady, smoking hot, way out of my league. But after about 3 months, she irritated the living shit out of me because she was just so beneath my maturity level that it just wore me out, talking to her. So you do need to find one that is actually kind of on the same playing field, or you need to be on their.
Yeah, you got to realize that if you get somebody extremely beautiful, they're probably not going to be around that long, And
extremely beautiful. What do you mean? Are you saying she's not?
Model type. I know a bullshitting woman when I hear one. I know.
Right.
May not look like I know, but I know. So I had several female friends on Facebook that I, before I went over to visit, I told them we should all get together, but unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that they don't like doing that.
Right.
They want that one guy with them and not everybody else. And that was, I could tell that this one, I mean, she was real nice, real nice, but I could tell that there was no future there with her. So I stopped.
Everybody say, hey, did you hear? He's in the house. If you want to come up, I've dropped the link. I'll drop it again.
Here,
He's in the house.
Norwegian Nightmares here. He's got stories about women, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. And Ken agrees with him.
His favorite thing with his favorite part of women is when they say yes.
Yeah. We all want a sugar mama.
I gotta go do something sick.
I have some Muslim friends, and one night in the Philippines, we were hanging out, and I love to talk philosophy and religion and history and all that, and we got talking about his religion, and he's married to a Filipina. Would he ever take on additional wives? When they go back home, and I told him, I said, the ideal situation from my standpoint would be to have 6 wives, all beautiful, all extremely intelligent, all who make a really super good wage. And he's like, well, why not 7, one for every day of the week? And I said, well, you're going to have one day to yourself to go fishing. So, and then they all need to live in separate houses, and you just go visit each house, and then you have yours on the 7th. But, I don't know. But I don't want to convert to Muslim. For that. I don't want to do that. I don't know. He didn't think that would fly too well, but I thought I would throw that out there and see. So, but I think, and it's not trying to be mean, but I really do think sometimes American women really, really just enjoy being mean. I think they enjoy not being happy. It's like, why be happy? When I can be miserable and make others miserable, why would I be happy? And I think that's kind of a sad state that we're in. Ken, you think that'd be way too much stress? Well, that's kind of what I got down to. So, man, I can barely handle Lorelei, so I don't know how I would handle 5 more. So, but at least I'd get to go fishing on Sundays or Mondays or one of the days off. So, oh no, man! Stories about experienced women from 86 countries. Public from Whitey. No, man. There is no stories on this channel that's inappropriate. But yeah, but might be interesting, especially if they made really good money on their own, and then so this is going to get me in a lot of trouble, because then you could be the chauvinist pig and say if they could make really good wages and then come home to a good meal and have fun with them, and then the next day go find a different one. Well, there you go. One wife, you can go fishing 6 days a week. Yeah, not really. But she only works 5 days, though. Then you got to spend the rest of the time with them. So we're down to 5 days now, Ken. So I don't know how well that works. So, but I do love to fish. And we all love our women, I guess. So, anybody have an opinion on what's wrong? What can we do to make American women better? If you're an American woman out there, and if you want to be made better, what is it that you would like to hear? As a man, if you're ever going to date an American woman again, what in it or in her would you like to see? In her.
Me.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, but you may not like that.
Yeah.
You skinny popcorn eating boy. You know, I
Well,
eat skinny popcorn. Mr. Yank, you working on your health there?
yeah, bag of popcorn, small bag. Right, I gotta have some beta blockers or something.
Mm-hmm.
Either that, or I got some kind of valves effing up or something because that low number varies so much.
Ken said he went Asian years ago, and I guess we all did because you know we love our Asians. Johnny on the spot. Penetrating them. There you go. Johnny's from Bakersfield. You guys all know Johnny. He comes by many names, but he's the man, the myth, the local boy from Bakersfield. Everybody say hi to Johnny. He has he likes Asians too. But in the Philippines, a lot of people would ask me, they pull me aside and talking after you get to know them a little bit, and they say, well, what's wrong with American women? Like, oh man, you're gonna get me killed, let me tell you. But
Johnny on the spot is here.
yeah, I'm from Bakersfield.
Yeah, I know you.
Yeah, he's still out there enjoying the nice weather in Bakersfield.
Yeah, I'm watching a hurricane in
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, it's just gonna kind of fly through.
Freaking huge too.
Yeah. Too much water under bridges? Yeah. I think for the most part, most of us who, let's say, got lucky enough to find a partner that you're happy with, whether it's American or not, have had, I know people that have been married since they were 18 to the same person. And I'm going to say one thing that I think I got very lucky and blessed upon was I didn't get married young intentionally. And because I see some of these people that have been married for 35, 40 years, my age, they're just freaking miserable.
I got an aunt and uncle that have been together since he was 15 and she was 12. And now he's 80 and she's, yeah.
But I think that's a different generation versus like our generation or my generation. I think the people in their 80s, they dated differently. They saw things differently. They had a different culture back in the 40s and the 50s versus what my group in the 80s and the 70s had or have. So I see a lot of guys my age who've been married a long time that are just absolutely freaking miserable.
Yeah.
If it didn't cost them money, they would get out of it in a heartbeat.
Everybody would, man.
I mean, they would. I know a lot of guys that if it wasn't for the divorce settlement, yeah, they wouldn't be married. Because I think when you get married so young, I think they say, what is it? Your personality changes every 3 to 5 years.
It does? Well, if you're a woman, maybe.
Well, even men, our personalities, maybe somebody can Google that, but I think our personalities change every 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, when she ain't giving it up no more, your personality is going to change.
Well, there's a really good video out there. I think I saw it on Facebook via YouTube from a woman, who says the best way to keep your husband, and I'm going to have to paraphrase because I don't remember her exact words, but she says, my grandmother told me that the way to a happy marriage and to keep your husband was 1, to always be a lady, 2, to always dress and take care of yourself like a lady. You behave like a lady, you dress like a lady, and you are a wifely duty woman like a lady. And because men want to be married to women. We want to be married.
You know what? You know what they have such a problem with, don't realize that if they gave you 5 minutes of their time once in a while, men wouldn't do what they do.
Yep. I don't disagree. My pet peeve in dating American women over the many thousands of years I've been alive is they always seem like they think I should work for them and not work in a partnership to build or to do anything. That's my own personal rub. Is it always seems like they truly believe that I or the guy should be there, for their purpose.
They're real good at living life through a ballad, on a record on the radio. They always say, well, I would be like this if you just. They'll be nice as long as you kiss their ass every single day.
That's it. And like I said in that video, and guys, chime in if I'm wrong, but if you got to work extra hard to keep your wife happy and so that your family can have peace, there is something really, really wrong with that scenario. I mean, if it's all about, what is it? And I hate this saying, and I got family members to say this, and I hate it. A happy wife makes a happy life. Well, the hell with that. Why do I want to make you happy just to have a happy life? That's not fair. So that's my big pet peeve. What do you think about that, Mr. Yank?
What I think about that? There's no end to it. Usually when there's an end to something, if you get to a goal and then everything's different, but it's not, man. They're constantly finding ways to, find something bad in you, and they get influenced from their other female friends. Once upon a time, you might saw some beautiful. Oh yeah.
A woman in New York. She was just wanted to get married, go back to Montana, stay home, have kids. Welcome her man home after work. Oh, with some food. Once upon a time is about right. So you can come up here and tell your story anytime you want, my friend. So
yeah.
Don't be shy. Montana sounds nice, but I think that's a fable, which is what his point is.
As long as you got money, anything's possible. When you don't have money, that's where the problems are.
Well, I think money definitely helps a woman be happy. It helps a man be happy. I know that much. It makes me happier when I have money. So
You like to spend it too.
I think we all do, don't we? I mean, we can get into a financial scenario. But yeah, spending money's good.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy life. But the problem comes in if you're with them, and here's my advice to young people. And this is for all of you guys also who date Filipinas, and you guys all know this, that, if it's all about the money for her while she's in the Philippines, then boy, oh boy, all hell's going to break loose when she gets to the United States. Because it's going to be brutal when she gets here then, Actually, that's what I think. What does Johnny on the spot think?
That's me.
Wow, he's driving to North Dakota tomorrow, 1,600 miles one way to spend a day, and then 1,600 miles back to California. Why don't you fly?
Jesus.
For a wedding or baptismal or something exciting? You're not looking for an American woman up there, are you?
No, these guys don't.
So, well, that's one advice. I have a friend who just got approved. He got notice just the other day, literally this week. Hey, your petition for your K-1 has been approved, and I got a feeling he's starting to sweat because now he's worried about her coming here and how much she's gonna, you know, think the streets are paved with gold and expect them to make those streets paved with gold if they're not. You heard about the planes, Mr. Bakersfield? I don't know if he's heard about airplanes. You know, he's one of those old school guys. You know.
Oh.
But I got a friend who's starting to sweat it a tiny bit.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny.
Does he live in Arkansas?
He does. He does indeed. And you know, she's seems to have very high taste.
Hmm.
You know, it's okay to have good taste, right? But is there a difference between good taste and expensive taste? I don't know. I don't know that. Let's make sure we support all of our friends out here in the land of YouTube. So if you guys haven't made friends, everybody, make sure you do.
Sign up and stay signed up.
That's right. Do it the right way, they say, right? Yeah. So what else is going on, Mr. Yank? Anything exciting?
Nice and cold, dark, depressing.
Hey, why? Why, Johnny? You know, Johnny, Mr. Johnny on the spot says, my wife was surprised to see homeless guys sleeping on the sidewalk. Why was she surprised at that? I mean, I saw what I would consider homeless people every square foot in the Philippines almost.
Yeah, I walk over them in Pasay.
So Jared says, hello to Verna. So I wonder why she was surprised. Well, you know, if you take it, I understand because Lorelai was the same way. Lorelai was a little surprised that we had homeless people here too when she got here. You know, because the country was so rich. It wasn't that she was first time she ever saw a homeless person. She just didn't think, she thought everything was so rich here in America. So yeah, I kind of remember that too, being surprised by that. The funny story Lorelai likes to tell is she was shocked the first time I took her on a road trip. I think we went to Dallas, Texas, from here in Arkansas. It was only about a 5-hour drive. I think I had a conference to teach at or something down in Arlington. And I took her with, of course. And she was shocked that there wasn't any gas stations for miles and miles and miles. And she was so worried that we were going to run out of gas and break down out in this wilderness of America. Well, I just thought that was quite funny. I'm like, it's all right. Look, my car goes 400 miles on a tank of gas. We have gas stations, plenty of places along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, she's a city girl. Remember, Joe, she's going to come and visit you because of your comment there. And Jerry says he's still breathing. We're glad you're still breathing. Very, very glad you're still breathing, of course.
Must doctor know.
Did you make it to the doctor yet?
No, I go on Friday for the throat, stomach.
Yeah.
And I got the cardiologist on October 12th, something like that. They gotta come out here. Either you're gonna do either some valves messed up or they're going to have to balance it out with the beta blockers and all that crap. Because I'm living at the upper end of the heart rate, you know.
Yeah.
So this guy's got to do something because I've been doing what he tells me long enough. I'm going to get off those statins too.
Yeah, you got to be careful of those heart drugs. You know, my problem is my favorite heart drug just went up from about $80 to $300. So, yeah, that one, you know, is just,
I don't know. We'll see.
but you need to get that heart issue checked out and figured out. So
They doubled the dosage on the Olodipine, but that really hasn't changed anything.
yeah. Well, the Entrestor is the one I make reference to. It's a fantastic drug, but I don't know what's going on in the world, but it is no longer cheap. You
What's
know,
that?
it's heart medicine. It's the one that you see advertised on TV about keeping people out of the hospital, and it really does work well. But man, I just got an invite today for my fourth, you know what, vaccine. I'm the honor. Really? Wow. Your fourth one. Well, I guess I've had three. I think I've had three of them, but nobody's asked me to get one here lately. I got one when I got back to the country, a booster, but you got all your vaccines, Mr. Yank?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm no booster for that. I nearly died both those times with that Moderna crap.
Yeah.
Besides, that booster, what, 2 years after I had?
Well, with my health, they wanted it within a year after.
That Moderna affected my heart. My pulse rate was 137. But I just stayed here. Didn't go to the hospital. I thought, what are the chances of this happening again? Sure enough.
Well, I even had that IV solution pumped through my body. So I had boosters and the IV super booster, I guess you might want to call it. Cousin just kicked the bucket. She was 69-year-old and had a PhD from Penn State. She had a heart attack, never spent a day in the hospital. Well, that's why you got to enjoy life. I know I harp about this and I tell young people all the time, don't go to work, go travel, go join the military, go overseas, go backpacking, go enjoy life, because you never know when your heart is just going to go and it's all over. And trust me, Jer knows, a lot of us know this from personal experience that life is not guaranteed. And sometimes the life that you get after a horrible event isn't really worth a crap. So you might as well enjoy it now. But, man. And they're right, Mr. Yank.
What's that?
You got to enjoy life now.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying. Kick the bucket. 69 years old, huh?
Yeah. I knew a lot of people, not a lot, but I knew a few people that I worked with at the college that wanted to retire and just couldn't do it. And by the time 65 came around and they finally got to collect Social Security and retire, they were dead within a year. Just sad.
Yeah, sure is. I'm trying to avoid that, but
that's why I encourage everybody to take your Social Security money as soon as you can and go on vacation.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for.
Do you have a targeted date when you're going to be heading out next year?
Or? No, not yet.
Not yet?
No.
But you're hoping after the first of the year, right?
I would hope. I don't know. I am just not certain about that at the moment.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully it worked out.
Getting very bored here.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
Freaking cold already.
Yeah, but you northerners like Ken, you guys love the cold weather. Come on, man. What do you do?
I don't know where the Scandinavian side of me and the Italian side of me, we're both in, cool weather, but yet I can't stand either one. So
yeah,
my taste for fish is shit. So a lot of Scandinavians eat fish.
Say, see you at the Jerry. He has to go to work tomorrow because it's 2:50 a.m. where he is.
Ooh.
And he'll probably catch up with us on Friday. It's good to see you, my friend. I appreciate you coming by. Get some rest.
Yeah, I didn't even know you're back to work here.
He's a high functioning member of society, unlike you and I.
Okie dokie.
High functioning member of society. I was one of those once.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. I miss it. I miss being a high functioning member of society.
Yeah. Yeah, sitting around shit gets old.
Yeah. Now I'm just a deadbeat, So I'm one of those deadbeat American men is what I am.
Yeah.
Deadbeat American. That's what I am. What you got sitting there in the chair?
What's that?
Is that your heart monitor there?
I just bought that yesterday.
Oh, a new blood pressure monitor?
Yeah, it gives me better reading than that wrist thing.
Yeah, they do. The arm ones work better.
But the readings that one gives me, I don't like because they're high.
Well, but the key is, are they consistent?
Yeah, they're consistent. Yeah.
And that's okay. So,
Well, it's just my heart that's not. Gotta be a valve that's not running the way it should be running.
yeah.
You got to if you have I have a high heart rate pulse, but I'm already near in the limit range. I got to slow that down by about 25.
Johnny in Spot says he lost his nephew 4 days ago, hooked on drugs at the age of 31.
It didn't work for him. Shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Come on.
John, man. I'm a comedian.
Well, what are we going to do with you?
The Native American comedian.
There you go. There you go. He's the one that likes the cold. I don't know why he moved to California.
I got no use for this shit. I really don't, man. I was born to be in warm weather. Unfortunately, I wasn't. Love Florida, man. I thought Florida, first time I went to Florida, oh, my God. It was awesome.
I like warm weather too. I don't even mind hot as long as there's a breeze.
Hey, well, you know what? I'd rather cool off from an air conditioner that wear 3 layers of clothes and have that heat drying the heck out of your throat and nose.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree. I don't like that whole furnace crap. And I hate the fireplace even more. A wood fireplace.
You got a fireplace at your new house?
Yeah.
Oh.
It'll never be used.
Yeah, I don't know about that shit. You got that freaking damper. You got to clean that sucker and all that other crap.
Oh, yeah. Down here, they only put gas fireplaces in. You don't really get real fireplaces.
Yeah, wood come in. It may have some insects in there.
Listen to me. Growing up, my grandparents had a real big wood-burning fireplace to heat their house with. And there were times it was nice, but, man, it really seemed to have a lot of odor.
Odor.
I don't know. It would definitely, I don't know, kind of just felt like it would suck the moisture out of you in some ways.
Well, yeah.
But no, down here we only do gas fireplaces, and a lot of the newer homes in my neighborhood actually has electric fireplaces.
You know what, man? I always heard those stories of space heaters, run up your electric bill and all that. And I had one when I lived in one of these other cities around me, and it wasn't what I thought it wasn't bad,
Mm-hmm. I think the key is not the energy that the space heater uses, but how inefficient the place is that you're using it in. So if it has to run all the time and work really hard, it burns up more energy because your windows are leaky.
Well, there's a hemostat on it. It goes down when it reaches a certain temperature.
Right. So, but the place that you were in were probably built fairly well, versus a nipa hut,
Well, yeah.
you know. And so that's where a lot of people have a problem. The poor people in the South, this is what they have. They have homes that are just full of gas, air gaps everywhere. So they try, or mobile homes that are 90 years old, and they try to run space heaters in them, and it runs up their electric bill because there's not going to be anything they can do to heat that Swiss cheese. KAE Sports Talk. IPAC, that's me. And everybody else, that's all you guys. Everybody say hello to everybody.
Yeah, Minnie Pearl, hello.
Do you have any comments about American Women KAE Sports Talk?
A lot of these guys probably sitting there with their wives right by them. Oh man, my hearing is going.
Yeah. But that's why they bitch down south a lot about space heaters, because of that, how unenergy efficient or non-energy efficient places are in the south, and then they try to heat them when they get a cold spell. But your houses up north are built differently, so But that would be how I'd equate it. Think about taking a nipa hut from the Philippines, moving it to Minnesota, and trying to heat it with a space heater. The ones I had really good luck with are the oil ones that look like a radiator, and they have oil in them, and it heats up the oil. Those work really, really well. So have you turned your heater on up there yet?
No, not yet. I'm holding out.
When's your targeted date?
I don't know, when it's consistently in upper 30s.
My goal is the end of October. No sooner than that.
Well, you'll have a better shot at that than I will.
Yeah. But we'll see how well my plan works. But that is.
Well, you ain't gonna get no sympathy from me.
Man, I need it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I need the sympathy.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You northern boys. Oh, we lost Mr. Yank. He fell off the island. Yeah, went rogue on us. He's trying to find the new space heater. So, but Johnny on the spot. I still got my heating pad. Uh-oh. We like heating pads too. What did they used to do back in the olden days? Warm up a piece of metal with some coals in it and a stick, and somebody would come in and push it under the covers for a little bit to get the beds nice and warm, and then pull it out and you'd climb in it and go to sleep. So I can't remember what the bed warmer. Yeah, bed warmers, right? Am I right? So heating pads kind of the same modern version of that. So we have a couple of really good heating pads too that we left in America, and I'm sure we might need them this winter. But I don't know. Has anybody seen the long-term weather forecast? Are they calling for blizzards this year? Are they calling for a hard winter? I haven't seen any farmers' almanac stuff about what may or may not be going on. So I don't know if anybody else has, but I got a feeling that we're going to have an easy winter, that it's not going to be bad for anybody, even up north in the New York, Buffalo area. I think they're going to have a mild winter also. So I think it's going to be pretty good this winter. Could be wrong, but that's what I think. So I don't know if anybody else has read up on the Farmer's Almanac to see what's going on with it or not. But and what did our grandparents teach us about the persimmons? Does anybody remember that? where if you cut open a persimmon and it's a spoon, it's going to be a heavy snow winter. And if it's a fork, it's going to be a mild winter. I think that's a persimmon, right? When you do that. I think that's what it was. A spoon, kind of like the groundhog thing. If he sees his shadow, spring's coming. If he doesn't, then winter is still 8 weeks away. But you get a persimmon and you cut it open and there's a spoon inside, then it is a heavy winter, and a fork is a light winter, or not too bad at all. So, well, I know. Just keep trying there. Maybe you gotta start your StreamYard or something. Click on the link again and try refreshing it like that. But so if anybody can remember that persimmon thing. So Johnny on the spot, why are you going to North Dakota? I forgot to ask you that, I think. Why are you going so far up north in such a short period of time? It's not to get Coors beer by any means, is it? You know, from the Smoking the Bandit movie, where they go, well, actually they came from here. Johnny says, spooning weather, snuggling weather. Yeah, snuggling's a good thing. You know, we have two fat doggies that, think snuggling's all about them, especially when it gets cold. Your Gmail keeps dropping you. Well, that's all right. We're only going to be on for a little bit longer tonight anyway. I have to cut out early tonight to go run an errand late tonight. But we appreciate the efforts anyway, Mr. Yankin. If you guys don't know, by any chance, you want to go visit his live stream on Friday nights. I think he does, yours is about 5 o'clock on Friday nights. And I usually do mine on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. So, and I got a bunch of more videos coming up. We're going to talk about how to get some free stock. If you ever want to have free stock, I got a video coming out next week for you. Literally free stock, purchasing stock in a company for free. Real money. Real money. It made me money. No, my stream and the StreamYard keeps dropping me. Huh. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's right. He does his then. But I'm going to talk about a real way to get free money, guys. I mean, and it's no bullshit. You don't got to pay any. It's not fake news. You just do what I say on the video, and you too can own stock for free. It's amazing. It's a cool little thing that I figured out a while back. So very excited to share that with you guys next week. And because we love free money, and it works great. I've already set some in motion for ourselves to recoup. And the stock that I bought has doubled in value since purchasing it. So I got even more free money on top of it. Not making a lot of money or anything, but it's still free investment. So we're going to talk about that. And then I think for the month of November, we're going to talk somewhat about immigration and visas, about how to get people from the Philippines or other countries here to the United States. So I think that's an important topic that we need to work on, or that we can share out with everybody. The latest and the greatest. Now, by the time I get all of that published and the elections happen, all the rules will change again, and none of it will matter anyway. But I think understanding how to get people to the United States is a fabulous, fabulous thing. Mr. Johnny says, my cousin that bit the dust. Oh, God. And getting my son's things from storage and Billings, Montana. Oh, you're going, okay. and picking up free medications. There you go. Oh, can you get some for me? I need Entrestor, as much as you can get. Everybody said hello to Mercy. Hello, Mercy. Hello, host. Thank you for coming. Joe says, Dave, I'm having connections issues again. That time of the month. Oh, Joe. Joe will say hi to everybody at least. Mercy says hello to everybody. Everybody say hi to her, you know. And Johnny on the spot says, not for sure what else I will think of. Oh. Mr. Yank, are you back in the house?
No, not really.
Are you there?
Kind of.
Mercy joined us. I won't be able to pronounce the last two words, but we greatly appreciate you being here. We're happy to be talking about What's Wrong with American Women was the video I released tonight. So if you have any input on that, we'd love to hear it, good or bad. It's, you know. Joe says, check you guys later. He's having internet issues. And Joe, I'm sure Lorelai will be up there to smack you around before you know it. So we're going to talk about free stock next week, Mr. Yank. How to own stock for free. Would you like to have, oh, he lost him again. He must be having internet issues up there in the north, where you northern folks are from. But immigration, you know, it's gotten a lot better, but it's gotten a lot better, but I don't know how long it's going to work because how long it's going to stay really beneficial right now. So if you're in the process, right now is the greatest time in a long time to try to bring your wife or fiance over or family members over to the United States. Now, once we get a Republican president again in a couple of years, all of that's probably going to change. Maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. I don't know. But, you know, the Democrats, they've done one thing decent, and that's made it easier for everybody to come to America. But for us in our world, we should take advantage of that for our purposes. So keep that in mind. It has become easier. Mr. Johnny says, the TV raised them American women. That's right. She was surprised to see porn on the TV. I thought the Philippines was the most porn watching country in the world. That's what came out a couple of years ago. Most people that watch porn are from the Philippines. I think there was a big article about that about 2 to 3 years ago from like Pornhub saying that their biggest audience was the Philippines. Well, that's kind of funny. I guess my other question, Mr. Johnny, would be, where did your wife think she was going to see it at? In the movies? Like in the movie theaters, like in the 70s or the 50s and 70s? Or the I don't know where you'd see that wife was. But yeah, I think the Philippines are, you know, an interesting country when it comes to that topic, Mr. Johnny. So what else was she surprised to see on American TV? You know, I can't think of anything Lorelai was too surprised by. I think she was probably surprised about how much murder TV we have, about how many shows we have about cops and the ways that you can kill people, serial killers, you know, those type of shows. I think she was probably surprised that we Americans seem to really love our crime shows. You know, she today, she still doesn't know why I watch Criminal Minds over and over and over and over and over and over for many years. You know, I watch the reruns on a regular basis. So, not a fan of Law and Order, but Criminal Minds, Dexter, serial killer shows I think she was kind of surprised about seeing some of that stuff on American television. Now, I'll say, Johnny and others, I was surprised about how much sappy love movies or love story stuff there is on Philippine TV. I was really shocked at how much of that, crap is on Philippine TV. Just tell her you have plans. You watch the show. That's it. It's a good advice. Really nice. That's really nice. I think Lorelai is about 20 or 23 more states, and she would have seen them all. And she's seen. I think I've been blessed to be able to take her to go see 11 different countries. Uh oh. Yeah, Lorelai's been here 8 years too. And Mr. Yank's been married for the same time. His anniversary's in January. So we've all kind of had that same our anniversary a couple weeks ago. So, we're at the 8-year mark also. But I think we've been to 11 different countries and probably more than half of the states. We haven't made it to Hawaii or Alaska, Oregon and Washington State, and some of those northern ones, and then the far northeast. But we've been all over mid-America, back and forth from California, Arizona, you name it, New Mexico, everywhere. And next year, we're going to go on a cruise and try to go see, where are we going next year? We're going to go, and anybody wants to join us on the cruise, just let me know. We're going to go to, where am I going next year? The Cayman Islands, Jamaica, and back to Mexico on a cruise. And then I think that's where we're going next year. That's the tentative plan. The other plan is to go overseas and go to Greece, France, and somewhere else on a cruise ship, on the Viking, on the Norwegian cruise line. But I'm not so for sure if we're going to make that one or go to Jamaica and the Cayman Islands and then back to Cozumel. It's only an 8-day cruise. So, but we've been to Belize, Honduras, Mexico, Korea, Philippines, of course. Will I pay for your ticket? Absolutely not. But I will do this. I will let you book the same dining room time as we, and you can join us for dinner every night. And I'll even buy your dinner every night. You betcha. Anything you want to eat on the menu, I'll make sure you get plenty of it. But we have, in all seriousness about the cruise, because we love to go on trips and cruises, we are looking at some other Philippine American couples that are going to be joining us on our next cruise in September of 2023. So seriously, if anybody really would like to go and just enjoy yourselves, message me and I'll tell you which one we book, and you guys can book it. And the one we're looking at is going to go out of Galveston, Texas, if I remember right, and then comes back to Galveston. So, but Mr. Yank, I will make sure that you get very good food to eat every night at no cost to you. All right? I'll do that just for you and your wife if you want to bring her. So, and if there's any single guys looking for Filipinos, that's a good way to find them. Go on a cruise ship. There's all kinds of them on those cruise ships. So we meet single Filipinos all the time on the cruise ships. That whole, we should come up with the terminology for that where Lorelai or other Filipinos can spot another Filipino a mile away in a foreign country. It's like, oh my goodness, there's a Filipino. So we seem to get to know the whole boat by the time we're done with our cruises. and have all kinds of new friends from the Philippines, Thailand, and other countries. So it's kind of fun, you know. Thank God it's included in your ticket. That's right. And that's why I'm going to be so generous and offer you all the great, wonderful food you can have and eat. You know, the food is included. How it works is when you buy a cruise, food is included in the cruise. There are some specialty restaurants that you got to pay extra for, like Carnival Cruise Line has a sushi house that costs extra, but the pizza guys, burgers, that guy Ferrara guy with the funny hair, and the burrito place, and the cafeteria restaurant, and the fine dining restaurant when you go for dinner, it's all part of the meal. The really cool thing is you got to take advantage of the fine dining. It's a lot of fun, and the food's really, really good. And keep in mind this. If you go on a cruise, and let's say they give you the Tuesday night's menu, and maybe it has like lobster, and then, I don't know, linguine, and, cheese plate, and cheesecake, and this and that. And then down at the bottom, it may say it has surf and turf for an extra charge of like $15. Well, but if you look at the whole menu, you have lobster here, then down here you may have a fillet. And all you got to do is tell your waiter, hey, can I have 3 lobster tails and a fillet, and you get surf and turf at no cost. And then, of course, what we found was, Lorelei loves seafood, lobster tails, of course. And so once she figured this out, we just told the waiter, can you bring her 6 lobster tails? And they just bring her lobster tails. You don't have to order all that other crap. You can just order a little bit that you really want off of the menu every night and just eat like kings. So I love it. I think it's great. So I encourage that. But I will tell you, the cruise ship industry has Carnival Cruise. Their pizza is some of the best pizza I've had, believe it or not. It's really good, fresh pizza. They make it right in front of you. So we're going to go on another cruise. You guys are welcome to join us, of course. Comedy's good. Fun is good. The women all behave. Even the American women kind of behave. So, don't be shy. Don't be shy. So we're excited about that. And it ties in with the videos that are coming up. I'm going to do 3 videos about cruising and how to get the biggest bang for your buck and how to get that free stock, cruise ship stock. They're going to want to really, really watch that video, guys. So we're going to be wrapping this up in about 10 minutes. I got to run some errands yet tonight, even though it's late here in the great state of Arkansas. Let's see what's going on there.
Hey.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Yep. I remember seeing you in like Facebook feeds and everything, and I know most of the guys in here.
Yeah, sure. How are you today?
Good. Yeah. I love your little topic.
Well, some of our friends in there suggested that I get a bulletproof vest to wear when I go outside now. So what do you think is wrong with American women?
Well, we have this thing called there's the third wave feminism, which is infected all over the West. And then there's this definition, this one adjective, hypergamy or hypergamy.
Okay.
So, and of course, in my experience, I'm not in the States right now. I'm in Asia.
Right. So you're safe from the American women killing you for saying bad things.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I am, unless I go to a foreign bar here in South Korea. That's where I have to be careful.
You have a lot of foreign American women in South Korea?
Yes, they teach English here.
Oh.
Yeah. But
interesting.
majority are behaved. There's always that occasion when I go to the foreign bar, there's one or two that wants to push an SJW agenda, and we're like, nope, 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 nope. Leave that in the United States. Don't bring it over here to the peninsula.
Well, don't tell them to leave it in America. Tell them not to do it at all.
Yeah, but
But
yeah.
I will say this.
Yeah.
American women who are open-minded enough to go work overseas probably are better than the ones that are closed-minded here in the States.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're going to go overseas and work, you kind of have to have an open mind and to look at things in a broader perspective. A lot of American women see things like this.
Yeah, and sometimes I have to tune off of certain podcasts because there's a couple of podcasts I catch once in a while, and all it is they throw that little baddie off the podcast, and she pops her mouth off, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta go.
Well, and part of what I said in my video earlier was, what I have a problem with is not opinions, but people, women or men, but women seem to have a bigger issue with this, thinking that their opinion is the only one that matters.
Yeah.
It is hard sometimes for American women to shut up, listen, and think about what somebody else is saying versus automatically going, well, you don't think the way I think, so you're wrong.
Yeah.
We learn a lot from each other. All over the world, people, we all learn from each other. And if we take time to listen, you'd be shocked at what you can figure out.
Yeah. And sometimes when I see those podcasts where the guy's like, look, let me finish before I let you chime in.
Right. And they can't do that.
They can't.
Right. It's because their concept is, I'm already right. So therefore, I have to correct you because you're wrong because I'm right.
Yeah.
And we have that problem.
Yeah. And here's the difference between men. We're careful what we do because between men, what is there? There's a threat of violence. So if I'm going to pop off to a guy, there's a consequence. I'm going to get my ass beat by him or by someone. But for a female, there's no consequences because they're like, we can't do anything to them.
Right. I think that's a valid point that gives them, it's almost the concept of keyboard warriors. The people that hide behind a computer screen and say bad things about people. I think it's because they know that nobody can do anything about it. I think it kind of goes along with the same concept that you're talking about. So I think that's very, very true. That's why in America we have so many Karens. I don't know if you know what a Karen is.
Oh yes, I've dealt with them here in Korea.
Yeah, it's usually a white woman.
Yeah.
Usually, but a woman who thinks whatever she thinks is the only way to think, and everybody else needs to bend to her way. So
yeah, and we do have Asian Karens too. There's Karens around the world.
There are, but the question now would be, what do we do about it?
Yeah.
No, seriously, what is the solution, or is there a solution?
Yeah. Sometimes there is, sometimes there not, but most of the times for me, I just like walk away. There's no point in staying there and going to war with them.
No, because it's a war you can't win.
Yeah.
And it's a waste of time, to be honest. But I feel bad, of some of the women that I know that just can't and won't admit that there could be another option to whatever it is. It really could be this. Nope. It just
yeah. I'll tell you this. I had one friend here. Now she's back in the States. So she would always like gaslight me about something. Well, you're lucky because, you have family here in Korea and you have the visa that gives you the freedom to do what you want. I said, well, my dumb ass knew to come here on that visa.
Right.
I know what I was getting into, you know, coming to Korea, even if technically my family's Korean, but you know, I'm an American and I only hold a US passport.
Right, right.
So in my own motherland country, I'm a foreigner.
Yeah, yeah. You may blend in, but you're still a foreigner.
Yeah.
That is very true. And that's kind of the weird thing. And this is something a lot of us guys over the years have talked about being in the Philippines. You know, it's really weird because I think you have good Americans and bad Americans that go to foreign countries. I think you have the ones that want to respect cultures and traditions, and you have ones that basically think, I'm an American, get the hell out of my way and do it my way.
Yeah.
The bad thing is being a big fat white guy. When I go to a foreign country, um, the bad ones make me look bad because we all look the same and we stick out. So in the Philippines, I stick out like a big old giant glowing rod.
Yeah.
And so therefore I have to be bad because other Americans they have met are dickheads. You
Yeah.
know, and I've had many of people in the Philippines tell me, wow, you're not all like the Americans we know. And I'm like, I feel bad for you then if you're running into American men or women or basically jerk offs.
Yeah. Yeah. And over the years, I like to point that sometimes I could just blend in. So, and of course, I've been to the Philippines. So at nighttime, I sometimes blend in with the Filipinos. So I'm just like,
well, I think in the Philippines now, between the Koreans, the Chinese, everybody else, every Asian blends in. They all look the same.
Yeah.
Like they could honestly all be Filipino. You know, like maybe they got a little, you know, so they all kind of blend in.
yeah.
So.
Yeah. Except in Cebu, it is very distinguishable. A lot of the Koreans, because there's 30,000 residents from South Korea in Cebu.
That is absolutely right. It is, you know, and it's crazy in Cebu that I really can't tell. You just don't know who is from where in Cebu. It's a huge melting pot. One of our friends is half Japanese, half Filipino, and he looks Japanese, but he was born in the Philippines. And he's Filipino 100%. His dad just happened to be Japanese, you know, but he looks Japanese.
Yeah. So he's a Japanoid.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm thinking, hey, you know, what part of Japan you from? He's like, what? You know, no, I was born here in Cebu. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
but that's, you know, the way it is. So now, in South Korea, do you guys have a lot of women from other countries like Germany or Australia, or is it mainly Americans coming to teach English, American English?
It's mostly Western women from the 7 countries that the Korean government allows.
Okay,
which is U.S., Canada, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, and UK and Ireland. You got to separate those two. So there's your 7 countries. So if you have a 4-year degree, no bad criminal record, you can come and teach English in Korea on a slave visa is what I call it.
Yeah. You know, I taught college and worked in the higher ed field forever and ever.
Right.
I was retired, but I think it's a great experience for people to go do that. You know, I would tell my young students, and I worked with international students from all over the world. Look, I had a lot of international students, 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds, ask me, what's wrong with American women? Why are they so mean and unhappy? I'm like, well, that's a big question. But I would tell them, go overseas, go travel, get a degree, go teach English, go have some life experiences, and then come back to your home country, get married, settle down, have a family, and do whatever you want. So I think it's a good experience for people to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And what sucks is besides those 7 countries, like there's so many other countries, like, you know, I talk to a lot of Filipinos. They want to come to Korea and work here. And I'm just like, the Korean government is not going to, unless you marry a local Korean guy, then you'll get on that spousal visa. And then you could work the same jobs I can.
Right. Same way here in the U.S., right? You know,
Yeah.
you're not coming on a tourist visa if you're from the Philippines. You can
Yeah.
come on a K-1 or a spousal visa. There are some work visas. Now, I tell people from the Philippines and other countries, your best, if you want to come to America, the best thing you can do is get a nursing degree from an English-based university in your home country, pass the American boards. You can come to America and be a permanent resident like that.
Yeah.
That's the fast track to get to America.
Yeah. Or the other desperation is because there's a shortage, like you just said about nursing, shortage of teachers.
Yes.
J3 visa, 3 to 5 years. No one wants to teach these American kids.
No, nobody wants to pay.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, we know somebody who desperately wants to come to America on the J3, and I've had to explain to them, you're not going to get to come if you go through an agency to Northwest Arkansas, where it's very well developed. There's a lot of money here. The schools are big, gigantic, and beautiful. The sports teams have millions of dollar budgets. You're not coming here. You're going to go to South Dakota, where nobody wants to teach, or you're going to go to southern Mississippi or southern Arkansas, where the poverty level is so low that a normal person wouldn't take the pay. So when you come here, it's not like you're going to go work in California at Hollywood. So, and I think a lot of them have a problem not understanding that.
Yeah. And the only exception, like California, because I don't know if you heard of, if you're familiar with the Central California, there's a city called Delano.
Don't know it.
Yeah, Delano, California. And of course, I know John because I used to live in Bakersfield, and I don't know if you know Bud Brown.
I do.
Bud Brown used to live in Tulare, so we're Central California guys. So, but there's a community in Delano. A lot of Filipinos live there. They're even part of the Cesar Chavez United Farm Workers movement too, back in the days.
Wow.
So if they're going to come to California, Delano might be one of the places they'll come, because I've met some Filipino teachers that taught in Delano School District.
Right. But for the most part, they're not going to get to go to a nice place. Because if I've told her, look, if it's a place where Americans wanted to teach, then they would already be teaching there. So you got to think about that. But, the dream of coming here because the streets are paved with gold is so overwhelming. And I'll tell you, we've had this conversation recently with her. Well, if you'll front me all this money to come there, then I can bring my whole family there on my wage. And we've had to explain to her, $45,000 in the United States is not a whole lot of money. Plus you lose 30% of it off the top. Then you got to pay for yourself to live. So you're not going to make a fortune teaching in America and be able to support a gigantic family in America off of $45,000 a year.
Yeah.
Buy them airline tickets and pay all their fees to get here.
Yeah. And there's a Filipina here who does this as a business. So she has connections to school districts. I even thought about doing it, but I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with this. She charges $12,000. So what happens? The Filipina family takes a loan for $12,000 in the Philippines Bank. You send her, the lady, the $12,000. She uses $6,000 to, get her visa, her housing, and of course, they put 4 in an apartment, in a 2-bedroom apartment.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that Filipina better pray that her family is very trustworthy to pay off the loan the first year, because the money she sends back is to pay off the $12,000 loan.
Right. I know an American that helps with this. His name's David Bell. He's called the traveling tutor, but he doesn't charge.
Yeah.
He gives a lot of free advice. His channel is called the Traveling Tutor. Really good guy. He was from Arizona. He's over, I think, in Guam currently. But to me, that's a scam. And we had that going on in Arkansas with people from the Marshall Islands a few years ago. And the people running that little program are now sitting in jail for human trafficking.
Yeah.
So you got to be really careful about messing with being a broker, so to speak, to bring
Yeah.
food into the country no matter what,
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And the only reason she has it, she registered her business because I watched a whole documentary on it because I was like, and she goes back to the Philippines. She does the in offline class with the Filipinos. Oh, hey, this is what you expect. Just like, OFWs get that training.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying she's illegal. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's one of those gray areas.
Right.
At some point in time, if complaints come up,
Yeah.
if attention's brought to you, you better make sure that you are perfect on the books. Or,
Yeah.
But we have somebody who, I don't know. I tell them, living in America is great, but it's hard. You have to work here.
Yeah.
The Philippine culture is kind of more laid back and easygoing. Living in the United States, you need to work.
Yeah.
To take it seriously. You gotta, you can't just go, well, I'll go buy a fish and eat some rice and hope I can, it just doesn't quite work the same.
Yeah. And same place here because Korea is just a first world country. You gotta work.
Yeah.
And of course I'd rather be here because I'm sorry, I'm from Los Angeles. You think I want to be in Los Angeles right now?
Well, that's your problem. I mean, that's yours and John's and some other people's. You guys need to get out of California. California's going to fall off the best thing that can happen in California is literally an earthquake and it just falls off in the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. The good thing for John being in Bakersfield, it's more different because I can attest to it because I lived there for 7 years. So it's more, not to get political, it's more red than blue.
Yeah.
Because
I just worry about the people that live there. How are you going to live, and I mean truly live in California?
True.
How are you going to live in California? It's becoming so expensive, so much regulations, and now the trucking industry is under fire there. The car crap. I don't get it.
Yeah. And the only cheapest area is where John is, and we're mostly Central California. After that, it's going to be unlivable, unaffordable.
Right, unaffordable. And maybe that's what they want. We're kind of getting that away here where I live in Northwest Arkansas. Our part of the country, which is the home of Walmart, Tyson Foods, JB Hunt, Arvest Bank, all these Fortune 500 companies are based out of this little podunk place in Arkansas. But things are getting so bad here that it's hard for a lot of families just to live in this part of Arkansas because you're going to pay double the money for a house, double for everything. A car is going to cost you 25% more. I can go an hour up the road where J3 lives, or he lives an hour and a half up, and get a car for $15,000 less. So California's got the same way.
Yeah.
So I don't know why any of you guys would want to live there. And that's why you guys got so many people from California moving into Texas.
Yeah.
So many corporations going to Texas for the tax benefits.
Yeah. And another state is Utah.
Yeah. Utah has some tax issues where you can run businesses out of them or base your business there and get all kinds of tax breaks, even though you're not physically there. So they have some very interesting tax issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
how long
have you been in South Korea then?
Oh, I've been on and off here 7 years now. So I've been able to go back and forth, So I have less restrictions thanks to having Korean parents.
So are you thinking you're going to stay there permanently, or are you just going to flip-flop back and forth?
I like to keep a base here because I always go to Korea. And then if I travel to Thailand, Philippines, it's way easier going from here.
Yeah.
And plus, like, I don't know. And I used to have a Filipino girlfriend. I'm not with anyone now.
Oh, oh,
But I'm sorry, I'm not going to do online either. I'm just going to fly to Philippines when the restrictions are lifted completely, and I'm just going to go out and about and just find one.
you will. They're easy. They're everywhere.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I already.
All you got to do
Yeah.
is carry your little peso with you. They'll come fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
what do
Right.
you have to do to stay in Korea then? Because you're not a Korean citizen, right? So do you have to do kind of like a 13A visa like you would in the Philippines?
Yeah, I have the Korean Heritage Visa. It's the F4 visa.
Okay.
So I have to renew it every 3 years.
Okay. That's curious. Huh.
Yeah.
Because I got some Korean friends here. They don't ever go
Yeah.
back to Korea, but I always wondered if
Yeah.
he ever decided that he wanted to go, hang out for a few years, what he would have to do since his
Yeah.
mom was Korean. She's a U.S. citizen now and has been for many, many years.
Right.
But it's under the heritage.
Yeah. But if you don't have the F4 like I do and you just come to Korea, you're coming on a tourist visa in 90 days.
Okay, 90 days max. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Now we've flown through Korea, but never got to hang out too long in Korea. So it's
Oh, yeah.
always been one of the bucket list places.
Yeah.
Was Korea.
Yeah. I mean, Korea's the size of Iowa or North Dakota. So you could actually conveniently see the whole country in a short amount of time.
Yeah. 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 I think the architecture is cool. We got that friend I was referring to. He was or the female's Korean, but
Yeah.
when she went over with her husband a few years ago, he's an American, never been to
Yeah.
Korea. They went there for I think 3 weeks, and he's 100% American.
Yeah.
So he got so exhausted and wore out and tired in Korea, and they didn't really know why. But they figured out because he was so used to eating so much protein that he didn't have enough protein in Korea because of the fish and the rice. And they figured out that they took him into town and got him some hamburgers. And boy, he perked right back up after.
Yeah. Well, you should have got to the all-you-can-eat pork belly, which we call samgyeopsal.
Yeah. Man, that pork belly is popular in the Philippines. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, the lechon.
And I actually make it for my wife and her friends, but we went to a place on Mactan Island. I can't remember what they call it, but it's where
Yeah.
all these tents are and all these food vendors are out on Lapu-Lapu. And
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because out of like 150 tents, there's maybe 50 or 60 vendors, but 99% of them sold pork.
Yeah.
They're all selling pork. And I'm like, okay, well, nothing different. Nope, pork.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So,
Yeah. So, yeah. Another good thing. Yeah, if you come to Korea, we have the bullet speed train.
Absolutely.
So it's easy. Like you're less exhausted because it's different than driving. If you're driving, sorry, it gets exhausting.
It does. It does. That's one of the reasons we really enjoy cruise ships
Yeah.
because we don't have to drive. We just, let them take us around and enjoy the day. There's the check out the rallies. I don't know if you know them guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's my buddy Bill
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah. and Mercy.
Yeah, they're going to hang out in the background. But
Yeah.
that's the way you want to travel, stress free. I tell Americans that when you go to the Philippines, look, until you get used to it, just take a taxi, kick back, let somebody else do the driving, let them take you to the front door, drop you off at the mall, drop you off here. You can afford it. Just enjoy the luxury of not having to stress. That's part of the fun of traveling. So,
Yep. I'll just hop on the hubble. Kuya driver, take me.
yeah, I'm a little big for those. I kind of have to get in, but
Okay.
but I don't mind taking a taxi or a Grab.
Yeah.
We use Grab all the time. The last
Right.
time. you know, I would tell my wife, look, you don't got to use a hobble hobble. We have money. You can buy. No, but you come home with her butt sore, and I'm just like, just take a damn taxi, you know. And
Yeah.
it was sometimes it was hard to get taxis in Cebu the last time though.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
they were getting expensive due to the fuel prices.
What are they starting at? Because I remember when I was there, they start at 40 pesos on the meter.
Yeah, I think they're up to 60 now, if I remember right.
Okay.
And that's just not for the fat white guy. I think that's for everybody.
Yeah.
But, you know, what we found was Grab was a better deal because they quote you one price
Right.
to be no matter how much. Whereas
Yeah.
some of the taxis, as you know, those meters would skip,
Yeah.
you know, and jump up 10 pesos. And you go, wait a minute, you know, and what happened to
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? You know,
Yeah.
so you would skip some, but
Yeah.
that's all right. So,
Yeah.
well, guys, I have to get off of here. I got to go run and pick my wife
Right.
up, actually. So
Yeah.
and do my husbandly, you know, errand and to go get her. But,
Yep.
we appreciate you coming by, Bill. Good to see you. Yank's already in bed. I know Johnny is
Yeah.
probably hanging out there, but
Yeah.
come back. I do these every Tuesday nights, and I don't know if you know Mr. Yank, but he does his on Friday nights at 5 here in America. So,
Okay.
and then mine's
Oh.
Tuesdays.
All right. Then I'm gonna step down. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Meeting you too. Take care, Bill. Everybody. So
All right,
long. See you next week.